And we're back, and it's your girl Teesha Marie, and you're listening to Precious Eyes Realized podcast. So today we're going to talk about, is this spiritual warfare or is it a divine shift? What if what feels like an attack is actually alignment? What if what feels like loss is actually pruning? Today we're going to talk about the difference between spiritual warfare and divine transition. Not everything is the devil. Sometimes we blame the enemy for discomfort, distance, growth, exposure, and separation. But John 15, verse 2 says, "He prunes every branch that bears fruit." Pruning hurts, but it's not punishment. It's preparation. I know that he also says, "Ye are the branches." Signs that it's spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare looks like sudden confusion, heavy oppression, irrational fear, repeated sabotage, attacks on your identity. You feel spiritually attacked. But here's the key. Warfare tries to destroy your peace. Signs that it is a divine shift. A divine shift looks like old friendships falling away, outgrowing environments, new discomfort, clarity replacing chaos, conviction instead of confusion. A shift stretches you. Warfare drains you. That's the difference. Why does God allow both? Sometimes God allows warfare to strengthen your discernment. And sometimes He allows shifts to elevate your capacity. But neither is random. The real question, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is developing in me?" Pressure produces clarity. Separation produces strength. Silence produces discernment. You are not crazy. You are not cursed. You are not abandoned. You may just be shifting, and shifting feels like breaking before it feels like breakthrough. Stop calling everything a spiritual attack, because not everything uncomfortable is the devil. Sometimes it is discipline, consequences, growth, and sometimes it's God. And I'm going to speak about that on the next podcast. And that will be called "Stop Calling Everything a Spiritual Attack." peace, love, and prosperity. It's your girl Teesha Marie with Precious Eyes Realized podcast. And it's 11:01. Matter of fact, I'm on the radio right now in Orlando, Florida. There was a manifestation when God brought back the desires of my heart. Before I left Orlando, I began to make music when my father passed away. And he was the one that got me my turntables and everything when I was just a little girl. Of course, my mom got rid of all of that because I moved. And I just began doing it again right before he passed away. And when he passed away, I moved. And he bought me a book supporting my newfound or reigniting my passion of a child, because at that moment was when I cut everybody off and I started focusing on moving across the country. So while I was in that area still, I just began to go through my spiritual awakening and playing around with music. And when I left, I lost my baby father in 2022. And so I lost my dad in the ending of 2019. And I began to make music again through grieving once I was in the West. I posted every other weekend, roughly, or once a month, sometimes every weekend, every other weekend, once a month, for a year. And the day that I was gonna quit, because I got tired of it, I was like, okay, I'm over it. I'm done. I was gonna delete everything. I got an email and I got messages on all of my accounts from a radio station in Orlando, Florida. But I was already on the West Coast. And sure enough, they made me their #1 DJ. And I was so shy, it took me a month to accept. My daughter was taking me on a trip. So when I started in 2022 and my child's father passed, I posted all the way up until 2023. And that last day, I was like, I'm done. But as a birthday present, the Most High made them contact me on my birthday. I was precisely getting in the car to leave to Palm Springs, and my daughter took me on a birthday trip. And it's so funny, I had just bought the DJ Screw sticker that I ran into in California, and I put it in the back of my car, and I was asked to be on their podcast as a DJ and host and submit my mixes as a slowed down music block. Isn't that crazy? It's just sometimes God, the universe, just some things are aligned or they manifest as signs and desires from your heart. Childhood desires, childhood gifts and coping skills, because that's all I had when I was little, was my music. And I would make CDs for my friends Even the one like that betrayed me, I would literally make long mixtapes and CDs and share them with my friends. And so when God showed me that in my dark times before I left Florida, and I fell in love with like just God, just the Holy Spirit reminding me of things that I had put away for a long time. But everything's aligned. And one of my friends in Florida started pushing me and pushing me and pushing me, even though I stopped talking to her at the time too. But she pushed me a lot, and I used to just write rhymes in my notebook, and she would come to my house. Her name was Ray Ray. I just found the video the other day, and then she was at my computer playing these beats, and everything just comes into play. Sometimes I miss my friend, but she's too close to my enemies and the people who betrayed me and set me up. So yeah, like I said, it hurts cutting people off sometimes, but I guess it's just a part of life. And a lot of people that I have cut off, it's not that I wanted to, but I feel like God talks to me and says, well, you have to, because you gotta let them grow and see things for themselves and let them choose their path. And that's the message that I received. So, thank you for listening. I appreciate you listening to my podcast. I know that I barely post, and this is what I do with the music as well on my DJ Teesha channel. I just post sporadically in lumps and disappear for months. But that's just how I am. And I hope that that's okay with you. And it's your girl, Teesha Marie. Peace, love, blessings, prosperity.